like a Hellcat.
Hello and welcome back to the Press Zone podcast. In this episode, we're basically going to be talking about our mock draft. It's something that I've been super excited about.
Right.
Put a lot of man hours into watching tape and poured over a lot of stuff. Again, make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Check us out on Spotify.
Very
too.
much appreciated.
And what do you got for us? You want to
before we get into this, I'd say John is more of our NBA guy, more of a big NBA guy. But when we go through each player, I will be providing maybe a little NBA player comparison, current NBA player comparison of my own. So we'll both be putting in our takes here, but it'll be mostly, this is John's mock draft, mostly his opinions. I'll throw in a few opinions, you know how it goes.
Yeah, my official, unofficial draft guide. If these guys are good, obviously it was because I said they were going to be good. If they're not good, they just didn't live up to the hype.
Right.
So you want to just read off who we got at number one?
Yeah, so first, Minnesota Timberwolves. They got a chance with Cat and D'Lo if they make the right pick. John's got Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind, Edwards is the clear-cut number one.
Yeah.
Crushed the pre-draft interviews. Absolutely. I mean, he looked awesome in all the pre-draft workouts I saw. Far and away the number one prospect.
Right.
You had a comp here for him that I really liked.
Yeah, I had Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, Depot.
Because, look, he's just almost a mirror image of him. His figure, the way he plays, his athleticism.
Yeah, and that's especially coming right into the NBA. Both of these guys were pretty physical. Obviously, that big transformation Oladipo went through a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Got in great shape. It honestly looks a little bit like Edwards now. He's kind of a stocky build.
Right.
But super athletic. And I think...
really solid NBA frame. He could score at all three levels.
Yeah, I've seen the Timberwolves wanting to trade down a little bit, but in my eyes, you can't pass up a guy who can be the number one scorer on a playoff team.
Right.
All right. So...
number two, Golden State Warriors, who really, if they could be the favorites to win the title next year.
Yeah,
with
Vegas.
Curry coming back, Clay, and if they make the right pick, if they take the guy who you have number two, James Wiseman, guy who played 3 games for Memphis. But
that's something I'm curious about. Is Adam Silver going to say out of the University of Memphis, or is he just going to say James Wiseman? Because I don't consider him a Memphis player.
Right.
His tape from there was useless because he played like 3 games against completely inferior competition.
Right.
But you're looking for a guy who 10 years down the line can be a starting NBA center. Right away, he's going to start. He's going to be super athletic, great lob target, good shot blocker.
Right.
Some switching potential, and honestly, it's what you need to guard Anthony Davis and Jokic.
Right. You could say he has the most potential to become a star in this draft.
Yeah, it's not settling.
Right. Because of how lengthy he is and how talented he is. It's really a rare combination.
Yep, and you love his drive to win and his character because he definitely didn't take money to go to Memphis.
Yeah.
And there's no reason that he just only played 3 games there.
Right.
Yep.
Now we move up to number 3, and this is going to be the most controversial guy in the draft.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wherever he goes, LaMelo Ball. We have him going number 3 to the Charlotte Hornets.
Right. All the talk in the world is saying Onyeka Okongwu, they love Onyeka.
Right. And
there's a certain point where the Charlotte Hornets need to get real with themselves and say, we're Charlotte, okay? No one's watching us play unless we have an exciting player. Day one, LaMelo's going to be exciting.
Right. And there's all the hype around him, how good people think he'll be, how bad other people think he'll be. He's going to be a fun guy to watch as soon as he enters the league.
6'7" with unlimited range, doesn't play any defense.
Exactly, doesn't play defense.
He's a fun guy.
Right.
Honestly, there's a lot of bust potential with him there, but you got to take a risk at some point if you're Charlotte. You can't say P.J. Washington and Malik Monk till I die.
Definitely. And obviously Terry Rozier was a little shaky in his first couple of years. What was this, his second year there last season?
First year, because first year Kemba signed in Boston.
Oh, you're right.
All right.
So up to number 4, Chicago Bulls. Your guy.
Yeah, Deni Avdija out of Israel.
Deni Avdija.
Listen, tell me 5 years ago I would have had an Israeli player drafted in the top 5. I'd show you a liar. But in terms of best Israeli basketball players ever, even Middle Eastern basketball players ever, he's got great potential to be the best one out of there.
He's got a super bright future ahead of him. He's a guy who can fit into a lot of systems from what I've seen, I feel like. He can score inside and out. And if he plays hard on defense, he could be a solid starter on an NBA team.
Yep. He's an all-around player I think can fit in any system.
Definitely.
Chicago needs some of those guys. keeping it rolling. To number 5,
Cleveland Cavaliers.
yeah, I had taken Onyeka Okongwu.
Yeah, this is a guy who I really like him. I watched a lot of him at USC last season. I remember him hitting the three-quarter court shot at the end of the first half, and I said that kid's going to be a superstar one day. But really, he's almost a mirror image. My comp would be Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, physically.
Maybe not as talented, but his figure, his size, and even his play style was pretty similar to Bam's in my eyes.
Well, Bam, like I also have here him getting drafted to the Cleveland Cavaliers, where they already have a decent big man rotation. I think it's 3 years before he's a good player.
Yep.
But I think when that happens, the Cavs are going to be a dangerous team. They have their Sexland backcourt with Sexton and Garland.
Yep.
Don't need a guard. Wing-wise, I don't think they're sold on any of these wings I have after here. Onyeka is simply the best player, and in 3 years, he'll provide a great defensive anchor to, I think, is going to be a really good scoring backcourt.
Yeah, definitely. Now moving up to number 6, the Atlanta Hawks, Devin Vassell from Florida State.
They're rumored to trade the pick, but I would love if they kept it and just keep adding to their wing core, which has just these long guys, can shoot, play good defense.
And it's a team who says they want to trade down for a superstar and be an immediate playoff team. But if they didn't trade and just kept building the wing core, like you said, they have potential to be a really talented basketball team in a few years.
I'm super high on Devin Vassell. Got great work ethic. He showed it by increasing his point totals.
Yeah.
His minutes went way up.
Yep.
I see a lot of Kawhi Leonard in him.
Yeah.
You know, just in terms of, I think in a few years, he'd be a lockdown player on one end, and he's got a great shot that he can get up over a lot of defenders.
Right. Now moving down to number 7, the Detroit Pistons.
Yep.
Everybody's favorite city to go play in. We got Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I said, you're not going to be good now. Why not take a prospect?
Right.
And I mean a raw prospect. 6'8", he's already got an NBA frame, can dunk the heck out of the ball. But what you like to see with him is he had the willingness to go shoot off dribble.
Yeah.
He came off the bench in college, something that doesn't deter scouts away anymore like it used to.
Yeah.
And a guy who, I don't even know what a good comparison with him is, because you don't know what he's going to be.
Right. My best comp I could think of was a taller PJ Tucker. Because he's physical and he can shoot from the outside, which is really exactly what PJ Tucker does. But Patrick Williams, guy who some people don't have this high, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went this high.
I've seen a ton of talk about him flying up draft boards because he's not a sure thing, but if he figures it out, man.
He has a lot of potential.
For sure.
Right. Now down to number 8, New York Knicks.
Knickerbockers.
And you have Killian Hayes written down here. And if they took Killian Hayes, in my opinion, that would be one of their best picks in recent memory.
Yeah, why not take another French point guard? They have a great history of that.
Right.
Obviously, it's become cliche to say, they're going to draft the foreign guy because Porzingis worked out.
Right.
They haven't had a lot of draft success after Porzingis or even before him.
But obviously, they took Barrett last year. We're still shocked that Barrett wasn't on one of the all-rookie teams, but Killian Hayes is a guy who I know you were sold on him a lot quicker than I was.
Oh, yeah.
But after you were going on to me about him, I watched some of his tape, and I'm really a big fan of him now.
Yep, he runs a ton of pick and roll. He played in a pro system. He's been a pro for a while.
Yep.
And look to see him come in right away and be a professional basketball player, says the right things in the media.
Yep.
And that's something that the Knicks need, I think. They need just a stable kid who is going to be around the league for a while.
Definitely.
Got a lot of potential, too, if he even increases his ball handle, which is already at a pro level.
Yep. Now moving down to number 9.
The Wizards. The Washington almost
Wizards.
Bullets.
The guy who, look, if you want an older guy in the lottery, it's him. Obi Toppin.
22 years old. It's going to deter a couple of teams, and I think that's the reason he's slipping down this draft board, because he was dominant at college.
Yeah, last year he was simply the best player in the country in the NCAA last year and won the award because of it.
Yeah.
But will his game translate to the NBA is the question, because he's not a prolific defender. He's an all right defender.
No.
He's not a prolific shooter, but he can shoot the ball. He can dunk, we'll say that. He can really attack the rim. But it's going to be interesting to see how he does.
Yep, we've seen number ones from mid-majors really work out in the NBA before.
Yeah.
Would not be shocked if in a couple years he's probably a great number 2 to Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
And this Washington team wants to win now, fills an immediate need. Don't know why they wouldn't take Obadiah Toppin.
Right. Now we move down to number 10, the Phoenix Suns, a team who, is there any team hotter in the NBA?
No, 8-0 in the bubble.
8-0 in the bubble, around star Devin Booker.
Yeah.
We have here Isaac Okoro. And
Yep.
this is a guy who, my God, I love him. I love his intensity. I love his physicality. And I think he has potential to do good things on the offensive end of the court, too.
Offensively, super, super raw. But on the defensive side of the court, he's going to come in and be an impact defender. I mean,
Exactly.
diving for loose balls. I mean, just
Right.
yelling, screen, screen, left side. He's going to be vocal. He's going to be a great defensive leader for a Suns team that doesn't have any defensive leaders. They have defensive players I like, but I don't think they have any leaders on that end of the floor.
Yeah.
They've got the offense. They just need a guy who they can stick in and is a great defender. Has a positive impact
Right.
every time he's out there.
My best comparison, and I think this might have been the easiest and most similar comparison to me, was Gerald Wallace.
Yeah, can you say
Back in his Bobcat days, just out there, stronger than everybody, more physical, playing harder. I see the same thing in Okoro.
Yeah, just sometimes he has more fight than the other team.
Right. Now we drop down to number 11, the San Antonio Spurs.
This is where I'm staking my scouting reputation, okay? I have seen no other person out there, and look, I haven't looked in depth at a ton of different guys, but Alexei Pokushevsky,
Pokuševski.
man, you watch him play overseas, and you immediately think one thing. Is there a basketball player taller than 6'7" out in the court with him? The answer is no. This kid's 7 feet tall, 200 pounds.
Right.
He's
Real
almost like this
thin
year's
guy.
Bol.
Yeah.
He played against bad prospects, but this is my comparison with him. A lighter, worse defensive Nikola Jokic who can shoot off dribble.
Yeah, I
Think about
have
that.
noticed that a lot in checking out his tape, that he's really shoots off the dribble pretty well for a 7-footer.
He almost has unlimited range, which you don't see
Yeah.
from guys that tall.
Right.
He's not super athletic, but
Yep.
just hopefully he can stick his hands up high enough and a guy will
Exactly.
miss a shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, slow. Listen, he's a guy who can be out of the league in 2 years, but he could also be the steal of the century if
Yeah.
he turns into a player like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, another foreign player who played a bad competition and
Yeah,
it was just great.
Exactly. Right. Now down to number 12, my team, the Sacramento Kings. Hoping they make a good pick this year. You have Tyrese Halliburton
Yep.
from Iowa State.
Everywhere you see, smart, safe pick.
Yep.
That's why I kind of have this team taking him. Sacramento, notoriously bad drafting
Yeah.
team, new front office. I think De'Aaron Fox could actually benefit really well from a secondary ball handler.
Yeah. Other than Corey Joseph.
Other than Corey Joe. God bless him.
Yep.
Loved him in San Antonio. Can't get on tangents, though. Got to be focused. Just like Tyrese Halliburton. Always locked in, both ends of the floor.
Great feel for the game. That's one thing I
Awesome.
really like about him. He has a great feel for the game.
Team defender.
Yep.
Shot's going to translate.
Yep.
No reason why Tyrese Halliburton isn't, I mean,
Isn't
a
a
safe
lottery
pick
pick,
with
right.
a decent potential.
Exactly. Next, number 13, a team with super high expectations, the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yep.
Under new coach Stan Van, our guy. Kira Lewis Jr. from Alabama.
Look, I don't know what's going to happen with Lonzo Ball. I've heard talks of him leaving. I've heard talks of him staying, long-term extension.
Yep.
But no matter what happens, every NBA team in the league needs kind of a heat check scoring guard. Okay?
Yeah,
Guy who
exactly.
can run the pick and roll with Zion Williamson. Shout out to, Alabama for producing a bunch of great point guards because they run a ton of pick and roll. He's very used to the pick and roll.
Yeah.
I can just imagine Zion rolling to the basket,
Yeah.
either catching a lob or having Kira Lewis draw contact and get to
And
the
Kira
free
Lewis,
throw
I've
line.
noticed he does pretty well at creating his own shot from the outside and getting inside, which could translate well alongside Zion. Because on the pick and roll, the defenders will both be focusing on
Yeah,
Zion.
Zion, of course.
So he'll get his opportunities to score that way.
Yep, no doubt in my mind the scoring's going to translate. Don't know if you can get other teammates involved, but
Right.
it is what it is. You got a
It is
scoring
what
point
it is.
guard.
Now, the final pick of the lottery, the Boston Celtics, received this from the Grizzlies, and you have Jalen Smith from Maryland.
He wears goggles. He is not in the best shape in the entire world. Think about 10 years ago, you wouldn't even think about this guy being a lottery.
Exactly.
But throughout his career at Maryland, he's done a couple things. He's won, and he's hit the three ball,
Yeah.
as well as providing some good interior defense.
Right.
That's
He's a really
big
strong
three.
kid. Really strong kid. An amazing rebounder. I'd say maybe even the best rebounder in this draft.
Yep.
And he's expanded his game, as you said, to step outside and shoot the three, which I feel like is almost crucial in the NBA these days.
He's almost like a rim-running Robert Williams type, but he has the ability to stretch the
Right.
floor. Shot's
Right.
definitely going to translate.
About 6'10", so he can move pretty well. but he's, as I said, strong and loves to rebound. He has a knack for where the ball's going.
Yep. And you talk about a team who needs a guy who can step on an NBA court, help him out, fills a big man need.
Exactly.
Hey, why not Jalen Smith?
Right.
And try to get a guy like Tyrell Terry later in the first round.
Exactly.
All right, so a bit of a quicker episode here. I know me and Ty are a little bit gassed. Make sure to like and subscribe. And make sure to watch on the NBA draft to see if I was right. Or even in 5 years, come back to me and tell me I was an idiot for saying take Pokashevsky this guy.
November 18.
All right, stay tuned.